Our coach is diabetic, I got raps that act as insulin. Only hope for real change is found in Christ. Leave your jail broke like my iPhone. I'm so through wasting words. Here, let me show ya. I'm so done wasting.
What's up? My name is Propaganda. I'm here at Ecclesia Houston with the crew right now, dude. They're not on camera, but they're sitting next to me eating barbecue.
So you did a trafficking event, I guess, slave stuff.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, that was in, you guys don't pronounce the H, right?
Right.
That was in Humble, Texas. But I'm gonna say Humble because I'm part of Humble B, so that was in Humble, Texas. Yeah, dude, just a bunch of cats out there that got passionate about the movement, or at least stopping the movement. They wanted to kind of raise some awareness just about human trafficking. Apparently, I don't know if you guys know that, like, Houston's like one of the bigger hubs for human trafficking, and yeah, so they were doing like just super dope like awareness type thing, and I got to come and kind of share. Yeah.
And last night you jumped on stage with Tadashi.
Dude, that was fun. Yeah,
warehouse.
Yeah. Luckily, we were able to finish in time here. I thought it was gonna be at the same time, but they ran a late show down at the warehouse. So after here, I got to go over there and catch up with the dudes. It's so funny because like you spend like 2 months in a bus with these dudes, and you think you'd be done. Like, I don't want to see y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Till we got a Latin president. You know what I mean? But I was like, dude, I just missed these dudes, so was able to. It ended up being like 5 minutes away, so we were able to roll over there and just jump on stage with that dude.
Yeah. Cool. Another thing I wanted to ask on the new project, 2 of the songs that I think, obviously, Precious Puritans got a lot of attention. I don't know anything that you want to say to clarify that, but also the Be Present song. I've heard people talk about that almost as much. Yeah. And if you have any thoughts on those.
I think that I think it just resonates. You know what I mean? I think on one end or the other end of the spectrum, I find it interesting the two. If I were to broad brush the two, like people groups that has like that spoke on this versus the ones that spoke on this on the other one. I found that the people that have really resonated with the Be Present one are generally those that are a little more involved in pop culture and just kind of understand that, hey, we're trying to live out a world, we're trying to live out a worldview in the world we live in, and I mean, who hasn't like been guilty of that, like just being gone the entire conversation that somebody's talking to you, and you know what I mean, like, and I'm still guilty of it. My wife even teases me because I end it with I'm divorced, my wife's like, nah, y'all more like separated, y'all kind of separated, and I was like, dang it, So I mean, I feel like it's just, in my mind, I mean that's just real, man, woman, anybody, like we all have that problem, whether it's technology or not, like we're just not there. I think with the Puritans one, I don't have anything to clarify in the sense that I feel like I said what I meant. You know what I mean? I think that there was a lot of misinterpretations in the sense that either you just not listening well, you know what I mean, in the sense that like the Puritans, that's like a subtext. That's not even what that was about. You know what I mean? It covered a lot of topics, but it was mostly about me. You know what I'm saying? Being judgmental. You know what I'm saying?
Your Twitter bio now is the quote about the
crooked sticks to make a straight line. I was like, dude, it's more about me being judgmental. You know what I'm saying? And in a sense that we all share in that judgment. You know what I'm saying? But I find it funny in this sense, in that the album talks about parenting, marriage, autism, teen pregnancy, poverty, government, politics, but the one thing, right, that supposedly the most brilliant minds in Christendom want to talk about, you know what I'm saying, is this one issue that's not even the issue. You know what I mean? So to me, it's like, hey, homie, like, I think we've identified an idol. You know what I mean? And in my mind, I'm like, dog, case closed. You know what I'm saying? Case closed, brother. You know what I'm saying? So there's that, but at the same time, like I can understand, it's really hard for all of us to think in terms of nuances, especially as believers that we believe in absolutes. We function in absolutes. There is one God and the rest of y'all are wrong. It is what it is. What you want me to tell you? You know what I'm saying? Yes, I believe that. You know what I mean? Yes, and that is absolutely true. Absolutely. You know what I mean? But And even when we make theological stances, you know, I like to say I'm in this particular theological house, but that don't necessarily mean I like all the pictures. You know what I mean? I mean, I like the furniture just because I'm in this house. You know what I mean? So I think that in this we have to like accept that, like, dog, things ain't just that. It's not that simple. You know what I mean? Right? That it's nuanced. I think we take that same type of thinking even when we're voting. You know, my grandma used to say, last time I checked, Jesus wasn't on the ballot, because if he was, I'd vote for him. You know what I mean? So you know, it's not like this one candidate got everything right and this other candidate got everything wrong, or you know, or vice versa. Like, but I think we like to think like that because it's easy. You know, it's lazy thinking. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of times we take that into our theology, and the point of the poem was, I'm guilty of that. Like, I'm guilty of thinking this way. You know what I mean? But let's look at that mirror. You know what I mean? And be honest with ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So that's like really what the point was. Yeah.
And then final piece, kind of related to the be present, and I have to admit I caught myself doing this tonight. While you were doing the poem, I was on my phone uploading a picture of
yeah, dude.
I was wondering, even as a performer, and I've seen this more, and obviously as I kind of report, I've got a little more reason to hold up a camera, but while you're performing, I'm sure these days mostly this is what you see.
Yeah.
So, and just how that impacts
It's
you.
a little creepy, man, because it's like you have to rethink. You have to rethink, because that's actually a compliment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy. That's the new engaging. You know what I mean? Like, whereas rather than being like, you know, raptured and captured in the moment where fools are just sweating and their hands up and they're just jumping, you know what I'm saying? Which is what you want, you know what I mean? But it's like, that's just as much as a compliment that people are pulling their phones out. But it's weird, because it's like, okay, wait, are you guys enjoying this? Like,
yeah, because like you're asking for people to raise their hands and like, well, I hold my iPhone and my camera. And,
you know, so it's you gotta like, I consciously, while I'm performing, it's funny, I'm consciously while I'm performing reminding myself that, like, okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
They're doing that because they like you, you know, rather than just kind of staring. And then the other thing I have to remember is, like, especially coming off something like the Unashamed tour, like, when you do poetry, man, like, they're not moving because they're listening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, why are you guys not, like, are you guys not moving? Like, is this boring? No, they're listening. And like, I have to remember that. And then especially when I move into a rap song, if you don't know me as a rap artist, just know me as a poet, like, it's a little like, okay, what's happening right now? Do I need to keep up? Like, you know, so I think people are still like listening intently because they expect me to say something, you know what I mean? And it's not their fault, but like, it's just funny. It's definitely like a rethinking. You know, like, oh, so that's not a diss, right? Like, you like me, right?
Yeah. Cool. And then where can people find you online?
Hey man, humblebeast.com. You can find me there. Also, Twitter and Instagram is both Prop Hip Hop, and Facebook's Propaganda, and you can find me there. And if you ever see me posting too consistently, like in a short period of time, ask me if my family's home. Is your daughter home? And I'll be like, dang it. Then I'll have to put it down and pay attention. So I'm giving you that permission, but don't be like dumb about it. You know what I mean? Like, don't be dumb about it. Yeah. Like, oh, I caught you. I'm just being real, dude.